Chapter 451, The Mad Splicing of Dr. Animo. It starts in the park of Gotham Royal York. Davis, Yoli, Maria, William, Riley, Ben, Eddie, and Luan are enjoying some quiet time having a picnic. Luan, this is such a beautiful day. Eddie, you said it, Luan. Davis came back and he brought everyone hot dogs and bowls of noodles for them. Davis, hey guys. Brought you all lunch. Riley, thanks Davis. Yoli, Davis said after the Battle of Malomyautismon that he wants to be an owner of a noodle cart. Ben, that's an interesting goal Davis. I know you can do it. Davis, thanks Ben. Luan, slurps noodles, these noodles are delicious. Lensko was drinking the broth because she couldn't chew noodles yet. Lensko, burps and laughs. Eddie, laughs, Lensko loves it. Luan, she sure does. Maria, you make really great noodles Davis. Davis, thanks Maria. Riley, Ben, I have a question for you. Ben, what's up Riley? Riley, how did you get the Omnitrix? Ben, that is a question I haven't been asked in a long time. I got the Omnitrix when it was in a pod that made it look like a meteor when I was 10. It was on a trip with Gwen and my grandpa Max. The start of that trip is when I found the Omnitrix. It's been with me ever since then. We've done it all on our trip and fought all kinds of bad villains all over the country. But during that time we made numerous enemies that want to kill me. The most deadliest of my enemies was the evil ruthless intergalactic warlord Vilgax. He wanted to get the Omnitrix so he can conquer the universe and rule over it with an iron fist. Riley, wow. You told me about that Ben. He must have been a really tough challenge for you. Ben, he was. Riley, the aliens you turn into are amazing. JD and Shannon know what they are. Ben, that's what I saw. He knows his aliens. Luan, I don't know how this came into him but my guess is he got all of the secrets of the entire universe given to him when he got his powers. Ben, that could be the case. Luan, it's an interstellar phenomenon. Laughs to rimshot, get it? They laughed. Eddie, laughs, that was a good one. Riley, that was funny. Maria, it sure was. Davis, how did you and Yoli become DG destined? Davis, that is an unusual story. It started when school began for us and that's when I met TK and I had a crush on Carrie. Back then I had no idea what Digimon were. Yoli, I was unaware of it too. But I did however get my first glimpse of them during the battle with a deadly Digimon trying to kill all of us in Japan. Luan, what was the Digimon? Yoli, he was Diaboromon. He got into the world of the internet and he tried to kill everyone with nuclear missiles. Luan, that's awful. Yoli, yeah. 3 years later me, Davis and Cody became DG destined and we got our D3 DG vices. Davis, Izzy told us what went down and he revealed everything. Luan, and that's when the events that lead up to everything that happened came into being. Yoli, that's right. Eddie, wow. Now the whole world knows about the existence of Digimon and we have the greatest friends and partners in any planet. Veman, that's right Eddie and that's a good point. Hawkman, Yoli, yes it is. Max Ride, Nudge and Angel came and they were landed by them. Max, hey guys. Luan, hey Max. Eddie, what's the haps? Nudge, not much. Just came to enjoy lunch with you guys. Angel, that's right. They sat down and were eating. Yoli, Max, your wings are amazing. If I may ask, were you born with them? Max, no, we weren't born with them at first. They were given to us. Luan, their story is a dark one. Yoli, they arrived here when we were in Yellowstone in Wyoming. Eddie, yeah. Yoli, oh man. Do you want to talk about it? Max, might as well. Our lives were not like normal people. We were held in captivity in a government facility called the school. They spliced our DNA with bird DNA for a project called the Angel Experiment. We are now 98% human and 2% bird. We have the ability to sprout bird wings from our backs and we look like angels as a result. We found out that the school wants to use us for a terrible purpose. Davis, what was the purpose? Nudge, world domination. Luan, they wanted to control the world and enslave all the humans so mutants can rule with an iron fist. Davis, Yoli, Maria, William, Ben, and Riley gasped in horror. Ben, that's horrible. Riley, it sure is. Anyone that wants to rule the world is pure evil and these guys were playing with fire. Luan, yes, when you mess around with the laws of Mother Nature there will be terrible consequences. Max, that's right. So me, Nudge, Angel and 3 others escaped from the school and went on the run so they wouldn't catch us. They sent a bunch of mutants to track us down and bring us back so we can be used as weapons to enslave the world. We formed the flock and we were hiding since. But when they found us a dimensional vortex appeared and sucked in me, Nudge and Angel and it took us to this world. We are now free from the school. Yoli, Max, that's awful. Luan, it was horrible. Maria, yeah. But thank goodness you guys got away and are free. Angel, thanks Maria. Luan, hey, I know those 3 women. Maria, we're at that burger cart. Luan, yep. They are former Gotham police detectives Sonia Alcana, Rocky Ballantyne, Kathy Duquesne. William, who's who? Luan, the brown-haired girl is Sonia, the black-haired girl is Kathy and the blonde girl is Rocky. Maria, cool. Let's go meet them. Luan, okay. They got up and went over to them. Luan, hey guys. Kathy, hey Luan. How have things been with you? Luan, not bad Kathy. Sonia, glad you're doing all right. Rocky, same here. Eddie, looking good. That's when all hell broke loose. Rocky had only taken 1 bite out of her burger when her hands started trembling. Rocky drops her burger as her hands turn into claws and my hands. Luan, shocked, Rocky, what's happening to you? 2 more of Rocky's new arms grow out of her sides. Her back expanded as it turned blue, ripping apart her shirt. Her front side turned white and expanded, ripping apart her jeans. Her feet then transformed to suit her new form, ripping apart her shoes. Rocky was currently a blue beetle monster with a human head. Rocky sobs as her head starts to change. Make it stop. Rocky's blonde hair fell out of her head as she grew antennae and she gained a blue beetle monster head. A blue beetle monster stood in the place where Rocky Ballantyne once stood. She had become a blue beetle. Kathy then started to change. Kathy dropped her burger as she held her stomach in pain. Kathy groans, what did that madman inject us with? Kathy fell down to all 4s and her feet and hands changed into spider feet, ripping apart her slippers. Her body expanded into a spider monster body, ripping away her shirt and pants. Kathy was a spider monster with a human head right now. Kathy, crying, curse you, you censored psychopath. With that, Kathy's black hair fell out as she grew more eyes and she gained a spider monster head. A spider monster stood where Kathy Duquesne stood just a few minutes ago. Sonia then started changing. Sonia dropped her burger as she held her head in pain. Sonia starts to cry. This can't be happening. A red scorpion tail burst out of Sonia's jeans. 2 red long spikes tore out of Sonia's shirt while her feet transformed to accommodate her new body, destroying her sneakers. Her hands turned into crab-like claws. The rest of her body turned into a red scorpion's body, completely destroying her clothes. At the moment, Sonia was a red scorpion monster with a human head. Sonia sobs as her head starts to change. No. I may lose my body but I won't lose my mind. But it was too late. Sonia's brown hair fell out as her head transformed, leaving her with a red scorpion monster head. A red scorpion monster stood in the pile of ripped clothing, with no traces of Sophia Alcana left. Ben, there's only one person I know that's responsible for stuff like this. Dr. Animo. Riley, who's that? Ben, he's one of my most dangerous enemies. Dr. Animo was once a promising researcher in veterinary science. His career was cut short when it was discovered that he was performing twisted genetic experiments on animals. He had hoped that his research would win him the Verities Award, which is an award in veterinary science. Because of the nature of his research, he lost the award to another doctor, named Kelly. This drove him mad and he went off the map for 5 years until he could perfect his research. Because he locked himself indoors for 5 years, his skin and formerly brown hair turned pale from overwork and lack of exposure to the sun. They gasped. Max, that is just absolutely sick. Nudge, no kidding. Dr. Animo appeared and he was riding a giant mutant beaver. Ben, Dr. Animo. Dr. Animo. Yes, it is I, Dr. Animo. Ben Tennyson, we haven't seen you at home. Ben, that's because me and Gwen were hurled through a trans-dimensional wormhole that lead from our dimension to this one. We now made this one our home. Dr. Animo, that's unusual. Now we can finish what we started when you sent me to the nut house. Me, off screen, guess again you whacked up, censored. Me, Barry, Aline, Talia, Rachel, Nico, Vince, Carol, Team Phantom and Lana swooped in. Dr. Animo, the famous JD. Knudsen. How nice of you to grace us. Me, so you are the infamous mad scientist Dr. Aloysius Animo. Great. Just what the world needs. Another Orochimaru running amok. Very, no kidding. We need to kill this nutcase. Nancy, off screen, let us help you out. Nancy, Rose, Mariah, and Stephanie jumped out. Mariah, let's make this monster fish food. They turned into war sharks. Me, you girls can turn into your war shark forms at will. Nancy, that's right. Stephanie, it's awesome. Rose, let's show him what we're made of and turn him into chum. Mariah, yeah. He's not the only one you have to worry about. Out of the trees came a strange abomination. It was a man with an appearance of a hawk, tiger, and a snake. Everyone, whoa. Me, who or what are you? Batman 2039, off screen, I can answer that. Batman 2039 swooped in. Batman 2039, that's Abel Cuvier. He's the founder of the Chimera Institute and he had been splicing kids and giving them animal features. Me, great. Another madman. Cuvier, I'll take that as a compliment. Me, this is a war in the animal kingdom. Power up guys. Me, Barry, Lainey, Lincoln, Vince and Carol went Super Angel 2, Nico went Super Scion 2, Danny and Danny went Phantom and Lana spread her wings and so did Max, Nudge, Angel, Luan, Eddie and Maria. Ben, it's hero time. Ben became Ultimate Wild Mutt. Ben, Ultimate Wild Mutt. Me, an evolved Vulpimancer. Ultimate Wild Mutt, that's right JD. Now Animo and Cuvier will face our power. Me, let's get them. But not here. I snapped my fingers and the area turned into another planet. Lainey, wow. What a planet. Me, this is the planet Nock. It's 4,700 light years away from Earth. Believe it or not guys, this planet is the home world of the Indigo tribe. Luan, wow. So this is the Indigo tribe's home planet. What emotion do they govern? Me, they govern the emotion of compassion. Like feelings of caring and all that. The Indigo tribe is a core that is composed entirely out of the galaxy's most dangerous and violent criminals. These are criminals that don't have a single shred of remorse, guilt, or love in their hearts. The Indigo tribe govern the emotion of compassion and when they enter battle they find a criminal that has a dangerous and violent nature and they cleanse them. They strip them of all emotions except for compassion and in the process they turn them into a mindless husk drained of all emotion but compassion. Lincoln, that's a deadly form of lobotomy. Lainey, no kidding. That sounds like a fate worse than death. Me, my thoughts exactly, Lainey. But I figured that we could take the fight here to avoid having the people in the park get hurt. Cuvier, we shall see who gets hurt. Now you all die. Me, you first, Cuvier. We went at them and pulverized Dr. Animo and Cuvier. But Cuvier was putting up quite a fight. He had multitudes of abilities at his disposal with his transformation. Dr. Animo turned Sonia, Rocky, and Kathy into mindless slaves, and they jumped at Lewin, and just as they were about to attack, Edzilla appeared. Edzilla, you try to hurt Lewin. Now you pay. He punched them and knocked them out. Me, I got this. I take out a dagger and cut my arm and put some of my blood on the blade and cut Sonia, Rocky, and Kathy, and they were returning to normal. Their transformations reversed and they were naked. Me, I got this. I unsealed some blankets and covered them up. They woke up and they were extremely dizzy. Me, are you alright? Sonia, what happened? Me, I point to Dr. Animo. He turned you three into monsters with DNA from insects. Kathy, gasp. He's the one. He kidnapped us and injected us with something. Ultimate Wild Mutt, that's Dr. Animo. He's an enemy of mine and he is an insane madman. Rocky, Ben Tennyson? Me, it's a long story, Rocky. Cuvier was still a big challenge. Nancy, Stephanie, Mariah, and Rose chomped him and slapped him with their tails. But then the ground rumbled and a huge pillar of indigo light exploded out of the ground and entombed him in it. Behind the light came Indigo 1, the leader of the Indigo tribe. Indigo 1, Abel Cuvier of Sector 2814, you lack the capacity for compassion. Prepare to be cleansed. An indigo ring went on his finger and he screamed in agony as his mind was being lobotomized. When it was done, Cuvier was stripped of his animal features and he was back to normal in his human form. But his eyes were glowing indigo and he was drooling and was in a total catatonic state. Lainey, whoa. That's a painful way to rehabilitate criminals. Indigo 1, knock. It is, but we make sure that they see what true compassion is. Lainey loud. I've heard a lot about you. Lainey, it's a pleasure to meet you. Indigo 1, leader of the Indigo tribe. Lainey, pleasure to meet you. I fired an energy blast and obliterated Dr. Animo's beaver. Ultimate Wild Mutt came and reverted back to Ben. Dr. Animo, you're not going to kill me, are you, Tennyson? Ben, I wish I could, but JD has better plans for you. Me, yep. You are one seriously screwed up nutcase and you need to be locked up in the best place we know. After we were back on Earth, Dr. Animo was sentenced to eternity in Arkham Asylum without parole. He was also given a curse that was a fate worse than death. Eternal life without eternal youth as an insane laughing old man. He now looked like he was 200 years old and he was laughing uncontrollably and insanely. He had a special cell in solitary confinement and was put in a straitjacket and chained to the wall where he will stay forever. Sonia, Kathy, and Rocky were back to normal, but they were severely scarred by this whole travesty. Cuvier's lobotomized body was sent to the morgue for analysis. We raided Chimera Industries and seized all the tubes full of animal splicing formulas and decided to put them to good use for a later purpose. Splicing became really popular over at Hamilton Hill High School. Terry's friend Chelsea now has cat eyes and they enable her to see everything in the dark. Which we thought was really cool. We put an end to a bunch of madmen's plans and more. The end. Another fanfiction complete. Dr. Animo was the most whacked up villain in all of Ben 10. His experiments make him a grade A madman. His monsters that he made were absolutely horrific. Cuvier from Batman Beyond was a weird one. When Batman fought him, he had every similarity to a Lamia from Greek myth. But when Batman injected him with DNA from all kinds of animals, he had a transformation that turned him into an ugly and horrific monstrosity. He was really ugly. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks for that, man, as usual. The transformations of Sonia, Rocky, and Kathy were very identical to what happened to the four brothers on Street Sharks. That was awesome. Next up is a chapter for Danny Phantom's most dangerous enemy of dreams, Nocturne. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time.